But what does he hope to achieve with that white-hot fury? Well, it's not policy, it's retribution.
We need to use the power we get to shut this White House down. We do that, I think one of the best ways is through committee hearings and investigations. I want the Trump administration not to function because everyone in the White House is being hauled under subpoena in front of a Senate committee day after day after day.
Senator John Kennedy joins me now. Senator Kennedy, Elizabeth Warren says that's her kind of man. Is that your kind of man?
Well, I haven't met the gentleman. I actually prefer women to men, but to each his own. The article you quoted was the New York Times, and it is the New York Times. They slam back a lot of lattes there, and sometimes ingest too much caffeine. But the point of the New York Times, I think, is that every party has factions, and the faction in control of the Democratic Party is what I call the loon wing or the Karen wing. Some call it the socialist wing. Its leaders are Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez, Mayor Mondani, elder statesman is Bernie Sanders. Mr. Plattner is a member. They have deeply weird beliefs. They think that kids should be able to change genders at recess. A lot of the looners hyperventilate on their yoga mats if you use the wrong pronoun. They think cops are a bigger problem than criminals. They believe in open borders, which is why they want to defund ICE. That's what we're fighting over right now in Washington, D.C. They're angry. A lot of the looners, they post in all caps. They're motivated. I guess I'd make two final points, Kaylee. Number one, I deal with, 100 members of the media in Washington every day. Most of them are young. Most of them have titanic self-regard. They're looners. They're members of the loon wing. Some not overtly, but they support all this stuff. Number two, I want to make it very clear that these folks have the right to believe what they want to believe. This is America.
Yeah.
You can believe what you want. But I have the right to believe what I want, and I happen to think they're clowns, and most of them can't even juggle. But we'll see. The voters will have the final say, as they should.
Yeah, they will. I want to ask you about the big breaking news that happened overnight. Spirit Airlines said this. It's with great disappointment that Spirit Airlines has started winding down its global operations effective immediately. All flights have been canceled. Customer service no longer available. While we are not able to help rebook your flights on another airline, we will automatically process refunds. The statement goes on after that. 17,000 employees affected. That is a big deal. And I want to remind viewers why we are here. Let's play Pete Buttigieg.
Our department, the Department of Transportation, has generally not gotten involved in these merger cases, but that's changing today. It is so important to make sure that passengers have choices, that they have access to low fares, that they have access to competition.
And socialist Elizabeth Warren said at the time, preventing a merger between JetBlue and Spirit, which would have kept us from being here today, said, I've warned for months a JetBlue-Spirit merger would have led to fewer flights, higher fares. The irony is that really kind of socialist viewpoint got us one less airline and fewer jobs.
Well, they should have let them merge. That's clear with hindsight. Secretary Duffy argued against having the federal government bail them out. Commerce Secretary Lutnick wanted to bail them out. I'm glad the president listened to Duffy. We got no the federal government's got no business trying to run an airline. We can't even deliver the mail when the stuff has an address right there on the front. That's free enterprise. I have a lot of friends in small businesses that have borrowed money and tried new ideas, and the government. And they didn't work, and the government didn't bail them out. So I'm not a big fan of these bailouts. But I think in hindsight, clearly, President Biden should have allowed them to merge. That probably would have solved most of the problems.
Yeah, having a 10% stake in the industry, that's very far short of a monopoly, so I'm not quite sure of the logic there. Senator Kennedy, thank you.
In this video, Senator John Kennedy passionately discusses the political factions within the Democratic Party, referring to one of its wings as the Loon Wing or Karen Wing. He criticizes this faction, which includes figures like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Bernie Sanders, accusing them of holding extreme views on issues such as open borders, defunding the police, and controversial policies like allowing children to change genders. Kennedy's choice of words is very provocative, and it reflects a sharp division in political ideologies. Kennedy also comments on the role of the media, claiming that many journalists support these extreme views, whether directly or indirectly. This is a bold statement that aims to polarize opinions and emphasizes the rift between different political perspectives. Shifting focus to the Spirit Airlines crisis, Kennedy discusses the airline's decision to wind down its operations and the impact of this on its employees and customers. He suggests that the failure to allow a merger between JetBlue and Spirit Airlines, which was opposed by figures like Elizabeth Warren, could have prevented this situation. He critiques the idea of government bailouts, arguing that the government should not intervene in the private sector, especially when small businesses don't receive the same support. This video captures intense political discourse and economic policy debates, encouraging viewers to reflect on their own views about government intervention, corporate mergers, and political extremism.